All rise.
The Honorable.
The Honorable Judge Jared Boyle presiding.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Where?
Let's come to order on this 21st day of September 2012. Docket number 167 BA 13497 64A-3. Todd Chapman versus Pork Court. The case of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So let's start this off right now. Todd, you've been accused of a leaning, we'll get to that, of a leaning tower of cases, aka Pisa. What do you have to say against these charges brought before you?
Well, I can say that I stacked the first, or I put the first pallet in place, and I have a material witness, Jose Yanez, who can place me in the lab at the time the next two pallets were stacked.
The lab.
I was running sample numbers.
You were running samples, so you are saying that you did not stack any of the pallets? Is that what you're saying?
I did not. I put the first pallet in place and
So you're
did not
saying-
stack the second or
Excuse
third
me?
pallet.
So you're saying you did stack the pallets?
No, I did not stack any pallets. I placed the first
Oh,
pallet.
you placed
I
the
placed
pallet.
the first pallet on the ground.
And how many pallets were there?
3 pallets.
And they were stacked? Or were they placed?
The second 2 pallets would be stacked.
They were stacked. They were stacked, okay. And you're saying that you only placed the first one,
Correct.
not the second?
Not the second.
You stacked the second.
No, I did not stack the second either.
Check.
I didn't touch the second or
Okay,
third
you
pallet.
have a, you said you have a material witness?
Yes, Jose Yanez is my material witness. He could place me in the lab at the time.
Mr. Yanez, the court recognizes Jose Luis Yanez. Please come forward. Mr. Yanez, you've been called today as a material witness for Todd J. Chapman in the case of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Mr. Chapman, would you like to question the witness?
I don't want to question him. I just want to hear. Jose, was I in the lab at the time that these other 2
Are you
pallets
okay?
were stacked?
No, I have to go.
There you go, potty.
Okay, no potty breaks. First, let's continue this. Mr. Jose?
The only thing I know is that day helping these guys a little bit. I don't saw him in the heister. He went to get samples, and he was in the lab. Next day in the morning, what I find that it was that the pallets almost go down. So
would you like an interpreter?
please, yeah, please, yeah. I'm feeling a little bit more like a accusate than a defense.
I got it. Okay, so you're saying that Mr. Chapman placed the first pallet?
I don't saw him with the police pallet.
So what are you doing here? How are you a witness if you didn't witness it?
The only thing that witnessing was I am the one who saved the pallets and saved somebody.
So you're really not a witness?
No. I got.
So you're
I just
wasting
get
the
it.
people's pork
No, the
pork
thing
today.
they just give me a taco for.
You may be excused. The accuser, Matthew Dennis
The one who gets
Dotson, is that correct?
That's correct.
What would you like to say?
Well, basically,
I need,
Hey.
seriously, I don't want basics, I want,
I witnessed, I saw Todd Chapman place the first pallet.
please face the people.
Place the first pallet in the winery. After that,
So you acknowledge he placed
he placed
pallet?
the first pallet. The second pallet, as I came into the winery, I noticed that the second pallet was stacked on top of the pallet that Todd Chapman placed there, and it was leaning off the back side.
Second pallet was stacked,
Was
not
stacked.
placed. And do you know who stacked that pallet?
I assume by the stacking style, it
Oh.
was Todd Chapman.
Excuse me. Objection. Are you an expert witness on stacking?
I am. I
You
am.
are.
I know.
Please let
I
the
know his
court
work. I know his
notify-
work.
I'm not.
Well-
I'm not helping in the winery anymore.
Excuse me. Okay, Mr. Chapman,
This-
you'll get your turn.
The third pallet I then stacked
You
on
stacked?
top.
So you noticed the second one was leaning, and then you placed the third one on top?
I'll do
did.
the questioning here. So you noticed the second one was leaning and you placed the third one on top? Is that how you said it?
I did. I put it to the front.
Excuse me? Okay, now hold on a second. So once the second pallet was stacked, not placed, was it leaning?
It was leaning. I actually did not.
Okay, hold on. So I'm confused here. So you stacked the third pallet, which is what, approximately 14 foot high, maybe 12 foot high, on top of a already leaning pallet?
Yeah, I did not notice they were leaning until actually after I stacked it.
Let me go back here. Did you notice that the second pallet was leaning? Actually, you said that the second pallet, which you assumed was Mr. Chapman, was already leaning. And now are you going to, and you stacked the third on top? So when does the tower actually become leaning? The second or the third stacking of the pallet?
Second pallet.
The second pallet? And
Yeah,
you went ahead
the picture evidence will prove that the second pallet caused the leaning.
I'm a little confused here because if, so you would be derelict or negligent as well because you continued the leaning. I think I could make my ruling here. We will adjourn and we'll be back. Okay.
Okay, all rise.
You may be seated or standing, whichever you prefer. I have made my ruling, but at first I'd like to have a couple of closing statements from the defendant. Mr. Chapman, what do you say for yourself?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory that I'm innocent and did not have anything to do with the second or third pallet.
Mr. Dotson, would you like to rebut that?
Well, basically, essentially, the thing is, well, realistically, the bottom line is, basically, the realistic part, essentially, I don't see how physically this is not. I am offended. I can't believe, I am offended that you would accuse me of doing this.
Okay, what I would like to do now is to turn it to you, the people, to help us make a decision here at court, and you guys vote on who is guilty, the defendant, or the accuser. Thank you very much.